Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a new show on the Virgo TV, and we bringing it in on a daily basis. Just bringing in some metaphysical definitions to help people understand what's going on the inside of them. Reflects into the universe, and the universe mirrors it back to them. So what we have to do is go within and put the positive and the best and the greatest things within us so we can change and draw in the kingdom of good, because the universe has no ill will towards you, and you shouldn't have any ill will towards it. Matter of fact, you should honor it because you are one with it. And with further ado, let's get to it. The metaphysical definition of Aaron. Before I go in, let me explain. These are names of the Bible that uh, the hidden code, the hidden uh, other side of the Bible, if you will. These words are for internal use. The book itself is for external. But when you break down the codes and understand the words, the names, they hid it in the names of different books, different individuals in the book. And so once you go beyond, listen, once you go beyond the physical aspect and taking it literally, then you can go to the metaphysical side of it. And once you go to the metaphysical side of it, then you will see the universe as the beautiful divine place and as it is. And you'll see yourself as a beautiful, elegant, unique, and wonderful creature on this planet, or a divine thought. Let's go. Now listen, when we um, grab a hold of the concepts and understand, that's why it always say the word, the word. Well, if you don't grab that concept and understand what the word is, then you just miss out on it because it goes over your head. Here's how you use the Bible. You use the Bible in this text. As you can see, Aaron, and it is illuminated, enlightener, mountain tier, very lofty. Okay, so when you sit down and you meditate, you take the word Aaron or one of these words right here, and you meditate on these words one at a time. And what you're going to do is gain the strength that you need and knowledge that you need of that particular word. Words are substance. They become thoughts. And when thoughts become uh, uh, formed, they become ideals. And when they become ideals, then they manifest because the substance of life feels ideal. The substance of life feel ideals. So let's get into the definition of Aaron. Metaphysical And this is what we have to realize. When we study, we need a quiet place because it should be more meditation and serene surrounding. Matter, executive power of divine law. Aaron, the first high priest of Israel and the bearer of the intellectual light to the Israelites, signify the ruling power of the intellectual consciousness. The making of the molten calf by Aaron signifies the false state of thought, idol, that man builds into his consciousness when he perceives the truth but does not carry his spiritual ideal into execution, choosing instead to let his thoughts function in a lower plane of consciousness. Now, just think about what it is telling you. Your five senses lie to you. You can see something so wonderful, but your five senses blocks you. It blocks you. When you see this material world and see everything as a physical thing, that is the block. That's what our mistake is. We got to understand, in order to go to a higher level of consciousness, we got to see past the physicalities. And once we see past these physical things, then we can see the greater good. We can see the whole entire universe that we are in, and that is inside of us. So what we is aiming for, to get our minds back on a spiritual, divine consciousness, so we can walk in the spiritual way. And all of this reflects into the universe, and it gives you a mirror image back. So you got to remember this. What's going on inside of you is very important to your existence, your life, your love, your way of living. It has a tremendous responsibility to help you modify and build a good life. So when Aaron built the calf in the biblical text, he built it, and it was signifying, all it is signifying. The Bible is symbolism that we have to understand. The universe talks to us in symbols. It shows us in these forms, and he used words and things like that. But we gotta have the imagination to picture the word the way it is coming to us. So when we don't have or limit our imagination, then we miss out on the greatness of seeing what is so great and wonderful around us. So that is the game, to keep you in these five senses, and then you can't see your spiritual self. That's why awakening the third eye is so important. It's so important. But the thing is, what it's saying is, we stop on what we see physical. Okay. And that thing that we stop at, and instead of going beyond, it might be so much blessings if we just keep going on past the physical that is it's just amazing how we do. But we've been trained to use just one side of our brain. So once you balance out, and these words will help you balance it out. If you meditate on higher things, lofty things, spiritual things, then you will open up this dimension. Here, let's go to the other side. See, one thing about etymology in metaphysics, it's going to show you the basic truth. It ain't hiding nothing, you know. And that's what we have to realize. So when we understand how to use the Bible for our benefits, to tap into our higher self and our higher source, then we'll be better off. And then you'll really understand the greatness of the Bible. And the authors, it was spectacular in their writings. It was very spectacular. Let's go back to it. Okay. In Exodus 40, 12, and 13, Aaron and his sons typifies spiritual strength, which becomes the presiding, decorate power of a new state of consciousness. A new state of consciousness. Listen, this is the old state of consciousness. This is the old state of consciousness, what he's saying, the intellectual consciousness. That's the old state. That's the old state. See, a lot of people are moving and existing in that state of consciousness. And we think our intellectual side is going to propel us, but it's not. It's going to keep you in bondage. And here's the thing. He's telling you that you need spiritual strength. We got to lay aside all of these physical strength and get back to strengthening our spirit, which becomes the presiding, directed power, a new state of consciousness through spiritual strength that is set up and abiding thought action that contributes to the building of the holy temple. Listen, when you start asking for the spiritual or understanding the spiritual, your whole being transforms. You get into better health, you get into better thinking, you get into better situations, and everything just start blossoming in your life. And this is what we must do in order to tap in and go beyond this physical realm. They are setting up the barrier for you to stay in this physical realm, and you miss out on your blessings on the spiritual side. You got to go beyond it. And here's why it builds up this temple, what we call the body. And it bringing Aaron and his sons to the door of the tent of meeting and washing with the water means that we should declare spiritual strength. Declare it. It's yours. Is it the weakness of this world and the weakness that people say you are is a lie. It is error. You are spiritually strengthened and you can declare it. And once you declare it, guess what happens? Let's read. To be the presiding, directive power of this new state of consciousness, not a mere animal strength, but a strength purifying from all glossiness of senses. See, when you ask for spiritual strength, Now you just awoken the fog that is in your memory, that is in your vision, that is in your body, that is in your mind. You finna now open up the portal to spiritual understanding, wisdom, and knowledge of self and the universe and the connection of the whole. See, so a lot of people want to know these things, but they don't know what to meditate on. So you need to meditate on spiritual strength and call it just that, or call it Aaron, or call it uh, uh, illuminated or enlightener, or the mountain or very lofty. Think on these things, and once you think on these things, strength and love will come upon you. And we need the spiritual strength in order to take care of this physical. If you take care of the spiritual, then the physical will be took care of. Okay. Now, not a mere animal strength, but a strength purifying from all glossiness of senses. This five senses is what's causing you not to see beyond the physical. And metaphysics is the doorway for you to open up and understand that these words, if you take them one by one, two by two, or how much your consciousness can hold, I would suggest one by one. But if you can hold two or three at the same time, guess what? Go for it. But the thing is, if you take that word, strength, spiritual strength, and just meditate on that, ask for that. Guess what? This is your declaration of strength, abiding necessarily to you know to make sure your body is strong. Because like I tell people, you got to have a strong physicality of spiritual body, and then it'll come down into this tabernacle we call the physical body. Your spirit got to have a place. It's got to, in order for you to exist on this plane. Through it setting up and abiding through actions that continue while one attentions is elsewhere, Aaron continued to minister in his priestly office. So the word Aaron, if you meditate on the word Aaron, this is something that will open up the power of spiritual strength for you. This is the way the universe set it up, and they know certain words have certain um, authentic powers that will help you clear the way. And the five senses is what's blocking. So if you ask for spiritual strength, then guess what? You're gonna open up the doorway for you to get clarity. See, it's glossiness. That glossiness that is inside is messing people up. The glossiness is messing people up because they don't know what to ask for. And that's why we're going to use these words, and we're going to use them in the proper way. As you study and as you come across some situations, you're going to understand that the spiritual dimension is where you need to aim. That is your aim. All these physical things come from the spiritual realm. Everything happened in the spirit before it happened on earth. So you got to understand this. And once you understand this goodness and greatness that we have and this capability, then you'll understand your 12 faculties. And these faculties, if disciplined, you will be able to do exceedingly above and beyond, because we all have that capability. But we got to understand how to get out of the mental bondage. And the only way is by meditating day and night on words, on words. That is what got you locked in, is words of belief. So once you meditate on your spiritual strength and declare it, and this is how you declare something. I deny my spiritual weakness and I declare my spiritual strength. And I walk in spiritual strength. And when you form and keep affirming your strength, guess what? The mirror of the universe reflects that. And that's how this works. That's why I call this segment of the Virgo TV Mirror Universe Reflection of you. Of you. When you understand your spiritual strength and walk in it, your whole entire life gonna change for the greater good. And you're gonna open up the door of goodness in your life, in all around you, with other people. You're gonna help them. They're gonna see the excitement and the joy and the power that you have, and they're gonna say, what are you doing? Then you just direct them to the Virgo TV, or you teach what you learn. That's it. But these morning sessions ain't gonna be that long, 30 minutes top. And I'm gonna bring you, like I say, based coming up will be matter of fact, that's it, right? Aaron's rod. The rod. We're gonna speak on the rod. That's the next one coming up. And listen, today, Aaron and his son typify spiritual strength, which becomes the presiding directive power of a new state of consciousness. This is where you want to be at. You want to get this word, Aaron, within you. You want to get this in you. You want to have it all in you. And then these are the words that you want to meditate on. And once you start meditating on these words and getting it in your consciousness, see, what we don't do, we don't stay on the word. Stay on the word. Do not get off the word, because the benefit is, and I tell people, you've been asleep longer than you've been awoke. So when you understand these spiritual principles and the spiritual laws, listen what it said. It's a divine law. You see that? This is a divine law. The power of divine law. So once you understand your divine law and understand the strength that you have within, that you can declare it, that you can declare your strength, then guess what? Your life gonna change. Like I say, this is the word for today. Aaron. Aaron. The metaphysical meaning of Aaron. When that being said, know thyself, love thyself, and be true to thyself. Peace out and one love.